It's 1 p.m. Good afternoon, good morning, good night. I just saw a very beautiful, beautiful, beautiful crow. I'm out of breath because I just came back from downstairs from collecting a package. You know, it amazes me that, like, it's like only when you really, really, really need a package to, like, really show up on time. That's always when it doesn't. It's fine, it's whatever. But yeah, I'm a little out of breath. Maybe I should have, like, regrouped before I clicked record. Everything's nice, it's fine. So I've already started. So, yeah, happy Saturday. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Um, there's something else I wanted to say, but I don't really remember. I don't know. But what I do want to talk about today, just like yap about, just like flow, just talking as one does, as a Gemini does. I've been like recently I've been listening to this album by Lily Allen, her most recent one, West End Girl, and it talks about like a married couple at that, where the guy goes away and then he comes back, and then it's clear that, he's been like seeing other people, and reluctantly, the wife, allows the marriage to be open, but naturally, it still falls apart anyway. Yeah, I kind of just like feel like talking about that, you know what I mean? But before I do, I kind of just wanted to bring out a special diva who matches my hair that I spoke about in like some other videos ago. I was talking about like how, what was I gonna say? All of my freaking toys are dead except this one, the one that I don't use, because honestly, the speed and the intensity of this thing, like, literally is gonna just take my clit off. You know what I mean? I kind of like the experience to be like a savory kind of experience. You know what I mean? I don't want to come immediately. I was thinking about how, like, in a day and age of so many influences, right? I often think that, like, it's in general, it's hard for me to pretend to give a fuck about something if I really don't even give a fuck about. But if there's one thing that I know for sure that I would gladly, you know, promote and, are toys. Like I said in my other video, I used to work in an adult shop, and that was the only job that I perhaps probably like enjoyed the most. It was fun. It was a very interesting thing, and I love that like it allowed me to meet so many different kinds of people, and plus it was like very educational. It was insanely educational. Like I love it. Like every single day I showed up, I like legit learned something new. Um, the speed on this thing, or the intensity of it, it's kind of like a lot for me. I don't use it. Like I said, this is the one that we would like just use like as like a back massage, but we just would always like have a whole bunch of toys like on display like anyway. Um, Here are some. It's like a lot. Like, ooh wee. I just like use it like not telling you like to massage my back, and like I kind of just like had to regroup for a second because like I kind of felt like everything was like aligning once again in my back, because like I think 2 days ago, what was it? I decided to just do my own flow, my own yoga flow, and I think I was just cramming in one too many poses that like my back was feeling like a little not the best, right? And it honestly like just like helped like oh freaking D. So like yeah, I kind of just like had to like regroup because I could feel like the blood like actually like circulating like that. I could just kind of feel like my back like going like forming back into fucking place. Um, but like yeah, here's a fun fact about me. In seventh, like I was like a 1D girly, and naturally I was like very heavy into fan fiction, specifically Nary. I used to ship those too. And I used to read naturally a lot of smart, but I also used to write, and that's how I used to just get by in class. I never used to pay attention anyway. Yeah, and I wrote like this. I wrote Tim Smith, Harry now fucking, and a girl in my class tried to get the paper from me, and I was trying to get it back from her or whatever. I don't even know why the hell. Long story short, my teacher got it. He read it in front of my face. He read the smut in front of my face. He was speechless. Like, he didn't even say anything to me. He just crumpled it up, put it in his drawer. I never got it back. I never got my story back. You know, it could have been the next after, but not anymore because I can like it's just like as like my mic. I love that actually. Yeah, I love that. Welcome to my podcast. That is so funny. Yeah, like I fuck with that. Maybe like when I record my videos now, I should like do that. You know. A lot of my toys are actually pink, to be honest with you. Um, but like yeah, like it could have been the next after, but we'll never know now because I don't even know. My teacher he probably has that or whatever. He probably has that, you know, like to like kind of just like remember the students who, you know, you once taught or everything of this nature. But yeah. And like in general, like as well too, apart from that, I'm just like a very sex positive person anyway, you know. It's a very fun thing, enjoy it, you know what I mean? But also to be mindful. I don't fucking know. I don't really want this to get like all seriousy and shit. Like just kind of just want to float. I just kind of just want to like vibe. That's the most important thing is to vibe. Is there anything else that I kind of feel to speak on and share? I'm also like all for like, you know, adding this like within like a partner. You know what I mean? Like add a, you know, like have like a little fun. It's not the fucking 1700s, girl. Have a little fun, spice it up, add a little toy or two or three. I don't know. There's so many creams, numbing creams, a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? There isn't much that I wouldn't. I'm a pretty open person. Curious pet. I'm a Gemini, as I've, you know, so I'm curious and you know I'll try something at least once. There are some things that it's a no for me, girl. You're not slapping me in the face, are you, Tim? But anyway, I guess yeah. Briefly, I wanted to just talk about like the album or whatever. Did I talk about it in the beginning of the video? I don't even know if I even said that. Like, I don't even remember what I said in the beginning of the video, but I was saying that like I kind of like wanted to um talk about the Lily Allen album and how yeah there are two songs that are like stuck in my mind. What is it? Non Monogamami and Madeline. The Madeline song sends me. It ends off with like a voice memo or note from Madeline, and she just more or less ends it with love and light. God, I can't stand the love and light motherfucker. Nothing wrong with being all love and light. But they just feel so dismissive. You know what I mean? Like they sometimes just feel so insanely dismissive of the human experience. You're not like allowed to feel like lower vibrational like emotions or energies. There's something wrong with you. La 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 la. Shut the fuck up. But yeah, like in the Madeline song, it's like, what is it? You know, the wife's talking about like how, you know, they made an agreement to, you know, to be discreet and be blatant, a whole bunch of stuff. You know, if you wanted to go do something, go do it in a hotel room. And I'm just like sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, you must have me really fuck the fuck up. Imagine your partner coming up to you talking about, yeah, I'm going to a hotel because I'm about to go hook up with some money. What? What's wrong with you? What? Like, you know, no. No, no, no. And yeah. So in general, I often think about, you know, the whole concept or whatever of non-monogamy, polygamy, polyamory, all that jazz. Not really polygamy. That's the one where it's like multiple wives, right? Uh Squirrely! There's a squirrely outside. Oh, the tail's a little short. That's unfortunate. But what was I saying? I think about all that stuff, right? Whatever. And for the most part, in my mind, like how I see it, I just honestly see it more or less as an excuse for men to openly cheat. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that like women don't like that as well too. They're, like they're literally just women and just couples in general that honestly are thriving, you know. They're thriving and I love that for them. But I think I'm more or less like thinking about it from the perspective of the wife in that like album or whatever. Oh, it's 111. um but like yeah, I'm thinking about it from like that kind of angle. Shall no freaking way. There is a kestrel outside. That is romantic. I've got my binoculars right here actually. But I can tell because of the way the birdies bob in the tail. I love the way they bob their tail. It's so cute. But as I was saying, I'm thinking about it more or less from the perspective of like that wife or whatever, because like in general, when it comes to like relationships, specifically, I guess like in a straight like relationship or whatever, one too many times women sacrifice what they actually really want, their emotional needs and all of this stuff. They neglect themselves all for the sake of keeping their partner or satisfying their partner so that they may stay or in hopes that it'll like improve and everything of this nature, right? Because like in general, like when you've constantly just been exposed to the bottom of the barrel people, right, you think that's all there is, and then so you kind of just think that you kind of have to just like, what's the word, um what is the word, it begins with an S, it's a very simple word, settle, for what or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, like, like this is what it's gonna get or whatever. And I'm not saying that's the case, like as I said, like it takes a whole bunch of different people to make a whole world, so like I said, there are people who thrive in those dynamics, but you know, I would, question, like are all the people though like in these dynamics doing it because they actually want to, or are they doing it because they think, are they like kind of just they think it's gonna just keep their partner around and everything of this nature, is what I'm saying. Who is it benefiting more, right? Does it align with actually what you really, really want, or are you just like settling? And nothing wrong if you actually really do enjoy that. You know what I mean? Like actually. Um, because I was thinking about like myself or whatever when like around like last year or whatever, time like now, not time like now, but like around like last year and the other year or whatever too. I was just like hooking up and all that stuff, and it was fun. And I like your girl was, I was having fun. I was having a good a good goddamn time. But after being exposed so long to like a bottom of the barrel people, I was starting to think that's all there was, and I was kind of beginning to think that maybe I can do this kind of stuff. Maybe I can be like in something open and everything of this nature. Um, and I was also like in a period of just like operating from a place like of lust or whatever, but just like in general, there's only so far that can take you. There's only so much satisfaction you can get out of that, because it's something that kind of just like once you have to keep you know or whatever. And plus like in general, like these like impulses, urges, whatever, are just sometimes come from a place of just like wanting to satiate something on a deeper like level, you know what I mean? So like yeah, but and I guess what it is as well too, I'm just like I don't know if I even said this, I don't know, but yeah, I'm just like not a fan of the fact that it's pretty obvious that it just benefits minimal anyway, because I find that it just requires minimal effort. It just requires just the bare minimum, and You know, like I know like there are just some that people say like I've like these kind of dynamics just like require just like a lot of communication and everything of this nature. I don't mean to come off in a place of loud like I'm mocking because like I said I know it benefits people, but I just don't understand. I what is the point in like being like in a relationship in a commitment with somebody? If you really, what's the point of it? If you still want to keep your options open, you know what I mean? Because like in my mind, a commitment, everything of this nature. But you see, these are all like everything is like all man made anyway. You know what I mean? Like when I'm saying that, like it's up to a person how they define like a commitment and relate. To be honest, you know what I mean. So just like whatever. But I don't know. Like it's just interesting to me. You know what I mean? Because I mean, like I just like know for like myself, like in general, like as well too. Like once like I really like somebody, I don't really need another Tom, Dick, and Harry. No, not really. But it's just it's just like an interesting thing to me. I just think about it like a lot. You know what I mean? Especially because like I said as well though too, with a lot of men like like on the maturity level of like like fucking, I was gonna say teenager, but I'll honestly just say a fucking tween. You know what I mean? Like on such a like an emotionally stunted like level that they are at and everything of this nature. I wonder like if they actually took the time to really fucking like actually like work on themselves and everything of this nature. You know, it's just like an interesting thing. You know what I mean? Because as I've said 100 times already, I know there are those who are thriving in dynamics and connections like this, and I love that for them. But I just wonder if people in those situations are actually doing it because it's something that they actually want, or are they doing it just because they think it's just going to keep their partner around? And on the other partners end as well too, like, are they just in dynamics like that because it's just coming from a place of wanting to avoid actual like deep connection and depth and intimacy and everything of this nature? I remember this one time, like this a person that I used to like like just hook up with or whatever. It became clear to me. Like I remember this person just brought up that they were in like an open thing, and when that became clear to me or whatever, I was ready. I've already been seeing this person for some time, not like just hooking up or whatever. And I was like in my mind, I was just like, so you're fucking me like this? You're fucking me like this? And yet you're in a connection. It's so fucking weird. It's just weird. You know what I mean? It's just weird. Like you can't fuck somebody like that and be as well too in a what? But yeah, you know what I mean though? Like there are those who a monogamous situation isn't for them. So I do understand that. Like I really do want to emphasize that. I don't want it to come across off of me just being like, oh, like that's wrong. Like like no. Like I know that they're just people who thrive in different situations and different things, but I think I'm more or less coming from a place of, are people in those dynamics always, are they like always being like honest with themselves that that's something that they actually like really want, is like what I'm getting at. You know what I mean? But like yeah, that's like I think about it a lot. Like this is not the first video that I've actually made about this. Like actually, um, And I also just like wanted to have like a cute like little show and tell like for my diva. You know, like it was nice like having like a nice mic. Honestly, I find that like it's easier for me to focus on what I'm talking about when I have something in my hand, because when I don't have something in my hand, I just zone the fuck out. I got to see a crow today. That's fucking amazing. There's been seagulls, I saw a woodpecker, I heard cardinals, there's been blue jays, sparrows, starlings, mourning doves, pigeons. I'm really grateful. It's a beautiful day. I love the birdies. I love them very much. Um, I think I'm gonna wrap this video up now, but I do want to end this video off by listing what am I grateful for today. I'm grateful for the birdies. I'm grateful for my piggly wigglies. I'm grateful for my cat friends. I'm grateful for the sun. I'm grateful for myself. I'm grateful that, you know, I have shelter, I have a roof over my head. I was able to, you know, have 2 cups of coffee this morning. You know? Yeah. I was also thinking about before I wrap this up that, you know, some mornings I'll wake up and then like my mind for very briefly will just kind of go on like, oh, you know, like maybe I should be doing this. Not even like to that extension, but to that extent. My mind will go on or whatever, but like on a much deeper, like just kind of just like, you know, all the things that, you know, like that we feel that we should be worried about. Oh, like I need to have this. I should be at this point by now. Everything of this nature. Whatever. But like on a much like deeper like level, like internally and everything of this nature, like I know I'm fine. Like I know I'm Gucci. You know what I mean? And I know this because I know that I'm operating in a manner that is in the most alignment with myself and everything of this nature. Like, you know, as well too, because just like in general, like as I say in multiple videos as well too, you know, doing what's the most authentic to you and in the most aligned with you, and just being the most that's the most truthful to you, whatever, you know, like I said, you know, sometimes might put you in a position of really being patient, um, because, you know, doing anything outside of that, whatever, might put you in a place of, you know, things happening faster, shall I say. You know, like a common example, whatever is like, you know, pursuing a career because it's going to bring you more money, everything of this nature, all that jazz. Might bring in everything faster, but is what you're doing and how you're living, is it actually like in alignment with who you are to your core? No. And pursuing a life that's in the most alignment with who you are at your core, whatever, sometimes, you know, might take more time. But there's no rush. So knowing that, I'm being honest with myself and everything of this nature really quiets all the things that sometimes I think I should be worried about. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter at all. Happy Saturday!